Welcome to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Kevin Ricca. Cheers,
2-0,
everybody.
2-0,
Cheers.
2-0, 2-0
NFC
2025 is
game.
sweet.
No one's going to lie to your face and tell you that we knew this was going to be an NFC Championship year when we drew things up in year one of Adam Peters' regime, Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels, all of that business. I think we've been living week to week. We were never happy to be here, but you know, this is the longest we've ever been doing post and pregame shows on Tuesday night since we started doing this. And the notion that at some point in that game, it occurred to me like, wait a second, we're going to play the NFC Championship game with the last of two teams playing in the NFC, convincingly defeating the best team in the NFC, at least by playoff ratings in the Detroit Lions. I feel it's such a foreign feeling, but because it's 25 years old, but I feel confident.
On this day, and so many seasons since I was 16 years old, it was basketball season. It was basketball season. Basketball season had started, and it didn't matter. Tournament-style approach to this new 14-team NFL, and it's got me feeling like it's March Madness in January, and I'm rooting for the good guys. We just knocked off the 1 seed. Survive and advance week by week means that we have a chance, because if we have 5,
yeah,
we got a shot. There is no doubt we can say that for about the next decade and a half, I believe.
I mean, he's the guy. You can't do what we've done and what we're doing without a very, very good quarterback. I mean, listen, you think about defense, you think, and we'll talk about all of it, but you think turnover. But we gave those yards up. It was over 500 yards, 30 points.
520 on it.
Yeah. Overcoming
Bend,
that.
but don't break.
That's saying if you have enough in your quarterback to overcome that and you feel pretty good about it, that's saying a lot about Jaden Daniels, because that's all he's filled every nook and cranny and crevice of need and desire that this roster left for him.
That's a lot of nooks and
He's
crannies.
always had enough. He's always
Fair.
had enough.
I'll focus on the last sentence. He's always got enough. It doesn't matter how much time is left or isn't. It doesn't matter, this guy. But I would say it was an overall team effort. Of course, you need that guy. If you're in the Final Four, and we are, you need that guy, or else you don't get there. And that guy was surrounded by teammates making play after play after play. And I can't see that far. But the first thing I want you to look at, if you don't mind.
It is the team. You talk about team effort, so I put up the team stats. We've been doing this all season. This is a great way. We've viewed our team through this ESPN stat box all season long. It's only fair that we get to do that on our way to the semifinals.
It's relentless. 7 conversions on 3rd or 4th down. And the point I'm making there is 6 different playmakers made conversions in those 7 times. I think Ertz had a couple, but just the way that everyone stepped up. B-Rob got a shorten in there. Jaden ran for 3 yards at the end of the game when it was desperate times for us. And then, of course, Terry and the big play by Bates, and Mr. Crowder has been nothing but a steady playmaker for us ever since we got him back. He just keeps on getting it done, whether it's in the first down department or against Philadelphia at their place, having 2 for 15, and both were touchdowns in the red zone. He has just been a guy that has been also eager and willing to step up. And a lot of them did. A lot of these guys did it. 5 different guys scored touchdowns out of the 6, Ken. We spread the love. We are calling
4
plays.
for 4 in the red zone versus 3 for 6 for them.
Yes, and that's what we needed desperately. We talked about it. Let me know. Did we win time of possession again?
Oh, we won 34-26 decisive time of possession, and we didn't get. They had us beat in some yards and blah blah blah. We did give up the 200 yards rushing, but our 182 rushing yards were incredibly impactful. Not because if you look here, the devil's in the details. We rushed the ball 42 times. They rushed the ball 23 times. It's 42 rushing plays where we were moving the ball and keeping the clock moving. That's how you get the time of possession win. Obviously, huge number here. 1 defensive touchdown. That's just outrageous. We could talk about Quan Martin. As he's running back, all I'm thinking is, I'm like, wait, like this is like the last guy left from the Ron Rivera draft class, and he is fighting for a job. And I was like, okay, that guy's a guy. He just separated himself from the he. That was a huge play, and the run back. I think people don't sleep on the run back.
I already want to check out his high school highlight tape as a tailback. You know, he rushed for 2,500 somewhere in about.
He wasn't
30.
looking to go down, out, or around.
He was putting dudes.
He made a move.
Oh, he froze one dude. The other dude was right next to him. He grasped for air.
That was a home run.
Quan Martin was looking like a home run back.
That launch angle was perfect. I mean, literally, he was going to the end zone. He was never trying to not score, and he had a nose for the end zone.
Man, first career pick 6 happened at the right time. And I do feel bad for Detroit. I'm going to get it out now. Everyone kept saying, I feel bad for Detroit. Whatever.
I don't feel bad for him.
But I don't either at all. I felt bad at that particular moment when I realized.
If somebody else beat them,
we just scored on defense, and their defense cannot check us. I never once felt for 1 second they could stop us. I was being annoying as crap, maybe trying to will it into it. My second half, I rooted like Jaden Daniels. I slipped into Jaden Daniels mode. What would Jaden do? Just chill out, Kevin. You can't do anything about this. Anyways, that first half, man, I just all of a sudden I knew. I'm not saying I knew we were going to win. I knew we were going to be in a dogfight, and if it was close at the end, we were going to have a chance.
We weren't out of it. It was always
Their defense could not make plays against us. We were so much better than them, and vice versa. Like we talked about, we both agreed. We all agreed. No one on this broadcast here didn't think that both offenses were better.
3 for 4 on fourth downs. I mean, just keeping it going. The fourth down stat I saw today, the top 4 conversion rates in the NFL on fourth down. Skins, Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills. All the top 4 fourth down teams in the league. It's a thing. It's what we do because number 5 can execute like nobody's business, and you know that calmness and coolness and poise that we see in the fourth quarter and on game-winning drives. He brings that to a first quarter fourth down play. And no one's ready for it. He always gets it to the right guy. He's incredibly special. I think that we talk about the future is bright, and we're going to focus on beating the Eagles. But in terms of foundational members of this rookie class, Shane Ristel is an absolute animal. As a defensive back, he's had a great rookie year. He turned in a great playoff performance. You can't say enough. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore also had his best game as a commander. He shut down his guy mostly all day long. So
had a couple of hits. We got to see what he brings, and he plays behind his pads, and he can't wait to lay some wood, and we got to see that twice. We're going to see it more this week, no doubt about it. I can't wait to see it this week.
Mikey, all year long, he's been a pro, and we knew he got here ready to rock. Nick Saban gave us the famous draft day blessing, but he has proven it all the way deep into the postseason.
An incredible season.
Huge value.
He looked like a receiver making that interception, didn't he?
Yes.
He looked like a guy that had caught the ball a few times at the D1 level. What
Jameson
a great
Williams
effing catch.
Jameson Williams should never be throwing that ball.
Man, everyone was getting a little too fancy-assed out there for my liking. Detroit likes to be all fancy-assed.
They do.
We sometimes have one cheek of fancy, but they were way too fancy-assed for my liking. Our Mariota sneaky pitch back fancy-ass didn't work great either.
You know that because the camera was all going around the back, triple reverse or whatever action, and Jameson comes out, and when he put the ball in the air, as long as the guy he was throwing to wasn't wide open, it was a 50-50 ball, and our guy made a move on it. What a terrible, terrible play and outcome for them. I loved their, what was that, a toss shovel?
Gorgeous.
It was amazing. I loved
timed up perfect.
It was
gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
At the end of the day, it gets broken up, knocked down. It's an incomplete pass. It's safe. There's so many positives to it. We tried to run something similar at the 7th, 8th grade level. It was not so gorgeous, so we said, it's got to go.
People gave me a hard time because I was like, did you guys see that play? They're like, shut up, it's the line. I'm like, you guys, that play was so perfect.
It could be impossible to defend with the right personnel and the right offensive line. And also, if someone gets in there and knocks something down or someone gets crazy, it's just an incomplete pass, which I like. You got to run it early in the series, though. That's a terrible... You run that play late and it gets blown up, it's a terrible dagger. That's when you look so fancy-ass.
We had a potentially looking too fancy-ass moment when Marcus Mariota motioned to center on that fourth down. Thought we probably had at least two or three better options than that play that they called, but that's the one they called. That's the fourth down we did not get. I don't know whose fault it was. I know everyone has an opinion. Ultimately, It wasn't even close. The execution wasn't there, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
We execute on fourth down.
Yeah.
Like that was just like some guys ran into some guys, and some people were pushing, and everyone was looking this way and that way.
So I thought it was going to be some type of flea flicker or anything, but if you rewatch the play, both our wide receivers just stagger off the line, meaning like they didn't even try and run a route.
No.
They just shuffled about 3 yards and looked in. Marcus Mariota was trying to make a play there and pitch it back to Jaden. I'm so glad he didn't. Jesus.
I'm so glad he didn't.
I was like, what is going on, Mariota? We just Mariota motion into a freaking pitch back. Yeah, not our greatest call, but I will say there was a lot of great ones.
There was a lot of great ones. And once again, talking about now this time a potential free agent, or actually a free agent, a looming free agent, Dyami Brown. He has played himself into the conversation now. Interestingly, a few weeks ago, we talked about the wide receiver class. Everyone knows we need another wide receiver. Everyone wants wide receivers. That's the nature of the NFL today. We would love to have more talent at wide receiver. Dyami Brown goes into the free agent class. Now you have T. Higgins. Who knows if he's going to be available or not. The Bengals are going to do whatever they can to keep him. Then you have this like glut of, the good receivers, but, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, some of these older guys.
Great.
I know, but coming off like a
Godwin's
major
I know, but he's
injury. Cooper Kupp might be available via trade.
Godwin's spectacular, and he would cost a fortune. I know he's coming off an injury, but Godwin.
Dyami Brown is really making a case for himself as like the third or fourth, top 5 free agent wide receiver in this class, which obviously I hate because I think we've both agreed we can't overpay him at all.
No way.
So
I thought he's played great. He's done great.
He's gonna like. I think he's earned a paycheck from somebody else that's more than we'd be willing to give him.
I mean, he's a good player in this system.
Exactly.
Specifically.
I love good players in this system.
Me too.
But
we are certainly not going to pay him too much. And listen, he deserves to get what he gets. And when you have output like that in a playoff game like that, thank you, Dyami Brown, you badass. I love the way you played. I don't care about next year. We needed a guy to step up on a weekly basis, and it's been you.
And that's the beauty of
couple weeks in a row.
That's the beauty of us and him. I mean, he's been a real integral part of the passing game. A pretty important part of the running game when he's been on the field.
Very important.
Yeah,
he gets after it in the run block game. I really like the guy. And
he's incentivized. He's incentivized to play as well as he can for all the reasons that he wants to play well anyways, but everything he does makes him lots of zeros in the next 60 minutes.
He has certainly had a great surge in his career output underneath this regime versus the old. So that's a huge deal because he fits.
Yeah.
He fits in the run game, and he certainly has the speed to work in the pass game, and he made plays. In fact, blindfolded with a finger up his damn nose on the most gorgeous ball I think I've ever effing seen.
A sidearm.
Holy shit.
Scoot,
I was like,
yards.
There's not enough room in between the hash marks.
It was
and the
just short of 50
lines.
yards in the air. I believe I did the
Was
the
it
stop.
50 yards high? Because that was something. It came
high.
down somewhere over a rainbow. Directly into the pot of gold.
Did he even step
Diami's
in? It was almost kind of just was. He was just like boom.
It was like
yes.
He's like, I know how smooth I am, and I don't even need to. I should just save energy on this throw.
Dyami Brown didn't slow down for that ball. He moved under. It was perfect. It's the perfect touch.
One of the most gorgeous things I've ever witnessed.
I mean, he obviously there was one week where we had 3 times to Terry McLaurin that were just out of reach, and you think about that, and then you think about that play he made in Detroit. That was perfect.
Oh,
it couldn't have been more perfect.
He throws one of the most gorgeous deep balls, not just of anyone right now, of anyone I've ever seen. Obviously, that's one of them. We've seen a million of them this year. God has gifted him with that ability, and when you have that gift and you have that work ethic, great things happen. We haven't been able to say all that much about that for so long. We can't say enough about him now, and we will talk about everyone else, but he is the catalyst, man. He is the absolute catalyst.
Want to say what's up to all the good folks of First Amendment Sports. J-Dubs, Greg Martin, Ken Harris, Manner of Speaking, Robert Cohen, EO, Tom Meringolo. Saw Greg Martin dabbling in here. I know. I think Pat's out there. I think. I'm. T is gonna watch this in tomorrow, but we are still missing our guy. Thank goodness for the Washington Commanders and this jolt of positivity. I could hear it in T's voice. I know he would prefer to be here talking about that game, but I think that all signs point to if we can get the ice and snow cleared out of here, getting him in here next week. So I will drink to that.
Yes. Let's get T's ass back in here.
Yes, and
get back to some normalcy around here.
I think we got.
Although I've had a great time with you, Ken. Obviously, we both miss T.
We both
part of the
T.
squad here. Big 1/3 of the squad missing. Hurts in the playoffs, but you know what?
I feel like it's more than 1/3. I mean, all
right, I'm gonna let you two handle that one. I'm
gonna
take my
guys,
third.
Am I a full? I can't. I'm not a full third. I'm like a quarter.
He's looking slim and trim right now, brother.
He is looking slim and trim. I mean, maybe I'm a sixth ish.
We're all equal parts. We're equal parts third.
We'll equal. All right, fine. I'll be a third.
Yes. We'll just go with it.
Cheers, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the experience of watching that game. I know I did. I know so many people did. And I was really in kind of enthused. Happy and joyful hearing. Being at the store, people are picking stuff up. Everyone's like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're doing this. We're over here." And so we put together a group of people who used to watch games together all the time back, when before I even had kids, which was really the last time we were in the playoffs. So Joe Gibbs' time, 05, 06, 07, we had an awesome group. And if you recall those two playoff runs, they rattled off 5 in a row to make the playoffs one of those years, and 6 in a row, those Sean Taylor years. And it was a thing, and my kids they've never seen that. They've never seen a Redskins watch party, family hangout, Redskins Day, cooking on the grill. This is what it's all about. And hearing and realizing, wait a second, it's not just my dad who's the idiot.
It's not just my crazy ass dad.
It's not just my crazy ass.
He's the one that's held on to it the craziest longest, along with a couple of his a third on either side. The guys, all the guys on the board today that have hung in. We deserve all of this. We said that last week, but it's not just you.
So
it's not just you. There's a bunch of crazy ass bastards out there with some burgundy and gold running through their veins.
It's not just Aunt Pam. So it was really cool, and obviously winning made it cooler. I kind of thought going in, I was like, hey, missed this 20 years, later.
What the hell?
I don't want it to be the last day, and then all of a sudden it's like. Again, in that moment, maybe one of the one of the final interceptions, but really with 7 or 8 minutes to go in the game, Detroit was beaten. Great team. They should have given Jahmyr Gibbs the ball on every single play.
Thank God they didn't. They ran the ball 23 times, and I think they had 200 yards.
Every play,
bro.
Hand it off, throw
just
it.
Do it every time. Jahmyr Gibbs was gashing us.
If Riley Leonard can rush 9 times in an opening drive, I mean, he threw up.
He almost died.
But I think Jahmyr Gibbs can at least do that. Just do one whole drive, would you just feed Jahmyr Gibbs on every Riley Leonard? Literally, I was like, this is like when you have Madden and you turn injury off and you just run one guy right up the middle every single time, like your dad did to you in high school.
I just know this.
Run it again.
When I saw him fully exhausted and throwing up and looked like a mere mortal.
It is the first quarter.
And he's explained to me that he's best friends with our Lord Jesus Christ, BFFs.
BFFs.
Those guys are ride to die. They do everything together.
Jesus, you need to step up.
And I was like, Jesus' best friend is going to kick it right here on national television.
Yes.
This is not good for Jesus.
But it was a great commercial for Jesus. That first drive, you're like, there's no way that dude could run the ball 9 times and score a touchdown against Ohio State's defense without just a little bit of Jesus. What I mean? Because he got walked off the field, threw up.
He parted the Garnet Sea.
I thought he was done for the game.
Dude, I'm like, this guy's getting clobbered by 5 studs at 7 yards, and he's getting there really fast, but he's having a hard time calling the plays around midfield. As that transpired, I was like, they're not going to run him again. Then, remember, he got up exhausted, and I was like, just hand it off. Let him hand it off. And they ran him again. He couldn't even celebrate. He held up the best friend bracelet that Jesus gave him.
Matthew 23:12. Those who
I love Jesus too. I just didn't know
who exalt themselves shall be humble.
And I do. I think sometimes it's just enough. You just mention it once. That's good. Jaden and Terry and the boys, they do a great job.
Well, but the I think they would have won the game if they continued with that same strategy. But but I also think they would have been charged with a crime, like at least assault, if not full on
Jesus was
manslaughter.
Like, listen here, Marcus Freeman. You understand that there's only a few things I can do these days.
I mean, at least Jesus could have been like, dude, I'm laying 8.5. Can you just give me like one more of those drives? That's it. Just one more. I don't even care when it is.
Will Riley Leonard make it past the third quarter?
Yes.
That was entertaining to watch. Picture how hyped you are. National championship game. You're the quarterback of Notre Dame, and you are. I mean, and he seemed pretty calm, but you're not calm. All the nerves running through your veins. And then you get out there that drive. It's all gone. It's over. You like someone else has to like. He was over there trying to like recharge. I was like,
and he did fall on the ball, and he did crush him. And that is a terrible, terrible feeling. And it does not just all of a sudden 1 second you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. After that, it hurts for a hot sec.
He's a stud. I love him. Shout out. We always shout out the local guys. His dad was a local. That was a stud around here locally. Played football and basketball at Gonzaga. Had a good career down at the Citadel. Then left town. So we haven't really gotten to see this young man grow up. I think he grew up down in North Carolina. Yeah. Is that where he was at? Virginia, maybe. I don't know, but he's kind of a stud, that dude. I like his college game, man.
And it was such I'm putting up the Ken Harris quote because I want to talk about it, but it sucked for the national championship game because it seemed, even though it was Ohio State, Notre Dame, and it was the end of this big college football playoff scenario, it was such a sports afterthought this weekend. I mean, the football games weren't like, I mean, for us, obviously, it went a certain way, but
yes.
Once again, our team providing the major excitement of the week in the NFL.
I know.
I get drama exists in other places too, but the story of the National Football League is the Washington Commanders. Like that's just it. Everyone was like, of course the Eagles and the Chiefs and Bills are going to be playing on championship weekend. Of course they are.
The whole nation. Just and most of the studious nation, the people, the fans like us of any team that are as diehard as we are about our squad, understand who this guy is. But the whole world sitting at bars that night, just looking at the television without an announcer and just watching him. Every time we needed it, we got it in the playoffs the last 2 weeks. Every time it was that play that you're sitting there and you're like, oh God, we really need this. He just steps up and gives you exactly what you need. I'm not sure who's ever done this at a higher level. Certainly no one I've ever rooted for. When you need a play, he just gives it to you relentlessly. Yeah. So,
and I know
the whole nation just saw this. The whole nation now knows exactly what we're dealing with.
They know who he is.
The script has been flipped, Ken. We are no longer the turds of Daniel Snyder's Lost.
Not with Jayden Daniels at quarterback.
Shit. Not with any of the guys we have in place.
I know, but with that quarterback, you can do just about anything. And I think that I've heard people say, okay, 1 year's 1 year. Fine. It's one of the greatest years, certainly with potentially the greatest rookie quarterback year ever. Especially if he is able to pull off this win in Philadelphia. But like the idea that Washington, after 20 years of not just being bad but also being hateable, which sucked. That part of it sucked hard. We don't need to have a full-on therapy couch situation here, but that part of it sucked. We weren't just bad. People like hated us because why wouldn't you? Because of what we were all about with freaking Snyder. Like the coolest thing I think is that we are. I mean, all the hate's going at Kansas City and the flopping Mahomes and all the negativity all is no one's loving Philadelphia. I mean, we are hot and we are beloved and it is
likable as shit.
And I don't care. I'm ready to share it with the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want this to just be for us because we we've been waiting 20 years for this. This is the coolest way to re-enter the world of competitive football, to re-enter the stage as like a legitimate organization that could potentially contend for division titles and playoff wins on an annual basis. We're doing it in a way that makes people love us.
Conference championships. Like, we're playing in a conference championship. And forget about the North. We're talking about the East, boys. The talk of the North is over. We're talking about the East. And, oh, man, I cannot believe that. How about this? Jayden Daniels and Jalen Hurts, since they've been born, gone through their lives and played football and done everything. Since they've been born. Until this weekend, they've done something that the Dallas Cowboy franchise has not done. Made it to an NFC Championship game. Yeah. Never once in either of their lives, the two starting quarterbacks for two non-Dallas teams in the East have now Trumped.
By the way, what a crazy stat. The idea now that the Dallas Cowboys are the last team to have played in an NFC Championship game. That is, and that we were the one, right before them.
Yep.
Because I got to be honest, like nobody was picking us to be the ones to get back to the championship game before Dallas at this point in time.
Oh God,
we're
1 year ago.
It's so
1 year ago.
The notion
they
of being
had Quinn.
The notion of being ahead of schedule.
They were 12-5.
Mike McCarthy.
They
Dak,
had Micah Parsons,
MVP runner-up quarterback, and
they had the new dreamy wide receiver. They had all the stuff, and now they don't have any of the stuff.
They don't have any of the stuff. All the headache. We're gonna get Micah Parsons somehow, some way. I think that's happening. I'm gonna say it right now. He's gonna be on our team.
Yeah, I agree with Ken Harris. Prime time Commanders. This should be our nickname heading into next year, because
we are gonna be all over everything.
Daniels. How about Jaden Daniels' career is going to be shown in prime time? To be fair, get used to playing on different times and different days and Thanksgiving.
Dude, every app we're gonna be
holidays
on like
and
Paramount Plus Tuesday night game.
Oh Jesus!
Everyone's they're gonna make up games.
Ken's Basement Playhouse is gonna have to. It's gonna have to happen.
It's going to be all over. I mean, everyone's going to get a game, and they're all going to want it to be Washington. By the way, if you get the NFL ticket, the NFL ticket's value is just doing this, right? Because the value of the NFL ticket forever and ever was you get to watch 10 games at once. Now you're going to put a couple games on Thursday, the Friday night Hallmark family special on the Saturday.
Boobs.
Apple TV game, the Amazon game, the Netflix game, the YouTube game. Like by the time you get through, there's 4 games on Sunday now. Like you don't even need the ticket.
Yeah, I agree. Especially the Red Zone. That's pretty fun to watch.
Red Zone's great.
Yeah, it's great.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna only have 2 games to call back and forth.
I know. I don't like that. But no, maybe he can still do it.
Yeah,
and
a couple every week.
We won't buy all the apps.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. We were 1-1 against them in the regular season, though our win was a hell of a win, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it. Our loss, we got beat the F up, and a really good team at the time that was on its way to being a really good team all season long beat us. The cool thing about playing them in the NFC Championship game is we have won how many in a row?
7, sir.
We've won 7 games in a row.
7 in a row.
Eagles haven't won 7 games in a row. Now they're hot too.
We ended their 10-game win streak.
Yes,
a couple weeks ago.
So the the wins that we played for at the end were meaningful because we were talking. The coolest thing about our story arc and having to play Philadelphia. Philadelphia was one team I didn't want to play. I was hoping someone else was going to take care of them. What the Rams and the Packers failed us. One team I didn't want to play just because they're good, and we play them twice, and we know who they are. And so we were winning games at the end of the season that were meaningful games because they kept us from that 7 seed. You're not having to play Philadelphia right away,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are meeting back up again in the championship game in Philadelphia. The all the kind of a lot of the negatives of each of our teams throughout the last 19 weeks kind of fall by the wayside because in the NFC Championship game, you're going to get whoever can go is going to give you everything they got. And we have if our guys give everything they've got, like we have a chance to beat the Eagles for sure.
Oh, of course we do. We beat them. As Greg said, they controlled the fourth quarter of that last game, but we were leading heading into it, and we ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Our defense ran out of gas, and they ran it down our throats to end the game. But that was not the case last time. I know Saquon had like $150 on us. And
both times.
He got out there, but he got it early in game 2. In the win, he got it early, and we settled our ass down. Remember, he was gashing us, kind of like Gibbs was last week. In the first quarter, Saquon was getting his up. We made our adjustments, settled his ass down real quick, and got into that game. Now, yes, they scored 33, but we put up 36 with 4 turnovers. We have to remind ourselves. I thought it was 4.
We gave up. I believe we were.
B-Rob had 2 fumbles,
yeah,
and Jaden had 2
turnovers.
interceptions. I think that was it.
Did Jamison Crowder muff a punt?
Was that against The Eagles?
I can't remember, but we had 5. It was 5 turnovers. We're like the first team ever to win with 5 turnovers. And
I'm going to it.
You do it because the loss, obviously Jaden had hurt ribs and he was still coming back from that and playing through it. No excuses. We played against Kenny Pickett. No excuses.
We care less about his tiny ass hands.
I don't even know who plays. So here's the thing. Jalen Hurts is hurt. I mean, he's not 100%.
Oh, first of all, he got sacked 7 times before he took all that on that knee injury. That safety, he couldn't move.
No.
And God bless his soul. But I was worried about him because I like when we don't play against a mobile quarterback. And I think I'm going to like this weekend because I'm not sure how mobile he's going to be and how good he's going to be. How about this? Dude threw for 65 yards this week. Now, I know it's going to say 128, but he was sacked so many times.
And it was a snowstorm. And
I don't care. The A.J. Brown book club, I don't give a shit. It's Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
And then maybe one of those guys makes a play, but they haven't. And they're not on the same page. And he's hurt. And they got offensive linemen down.
Hurt.
And Nakobe Dean, who was a werewolf against us last time, had 12 tackles. Sorry. We'll get to that. I'm sorry. I was getting excited.
No, we're talking about
he's out.
The team that we're playing, the team that we played the first time, the team that we played the second time, neither of those two teams exist. By the way, neither does ours. We won't have Sam Cosmi, a devastating knee injury for a key member of our Diami fumble, by the way, was the 5th turnover.
Yes, and they had shit. Well, we only had 2. Okay.
So losing Cosmi sucks. That's going to have to be overcome.
We threw 1 pick. I apologize.
As bad as Detroit's defense
we threw 2.
was, we did open holes for Brian Robinson, who had a very nice game in a solid performance. He got hard yards and
he looked different.
He took some serious gallops to for 8-9 yard gains.
He had some juice. He had some burst. He had some
catches.
He had some action. He looked a little live. He didn't look like a guy that was like, trying to get through to the end of the season that had taken some injuries and had taken some shots. He looked like he had some go get him. And I liked the way he came downhill. That was sick. Watching him and McNichols get downfield. I really, really, really enjoy watching them play the game. The way that they did. And we had to do that. We had to do that against Detroit, and we did it. I love knowing that we're the better team offensively because I think we're the team that can just take the game under control, and that's why time of possession becomes a factor. We took control of the Philadelphia Eagles game in Philly. We dominated time of possession, and we got that win late. Jaden Daniels threw 5 freaking touchdown passes and was a monster.
Damn it. I thought Brian Robinson had catches. He didn't. Didn't have any catches this week. Oh, you know what? He got called back on a penalty, I think. I think, obviously, Jaden Daniels is even better than the guy who threw the game-winning touchdown against them in the second game of the regular season. The second matchup.
I agree. And how about this? Not only did he go 24 for 39 and chuck for some yards and 5 touchdowns, but 9 rushes for 81 yards. And let me tell you this, if Nakobe Dean was not on the field, those numbers would have been even higher. I know 9 for 81 is a lot. Nakobe Dean had 12 tackles. He was running around making plays everywhere. He was saving the Eagles' defense's ass that day. Well, he ain't going to be there this week. He's on the injured reserve, and I'm not saying that gives us an advantage, but I know this.
Braun is
that causes them to look at someone else to play that role that's not anywhere near as good as him against a team that's got guys that can make you look stupid, especially the guy holding the ball.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to hopefully keep, not get kicked out of the game for his sake. I hope he gets kicked out of the game again. Obviously, he is such a good player.
Who's that?
CJ, GJ, the safety. He's a very good player.
Well, Quinyon Mitchell is a very good player and did a great job against Terry McLaurin. I don't know what he does, or it looked like it was gruesome. I thought he was going to be done. That injury last week. They're saying he has a chance. He's questionable, but
if he doesn't go, by the way, that's a huge situation.
No. I want him to go with one wing. I want Terry going up against that dude on the field that everyone's giving him credit for. Terry had 5 catches for 60 yards, played the game the right way, did what he was supposed to do, blocked in the run game, had a touchdown, and was a stud. They're talking about, he shut him down. Fine. Put that rookie out there with one wing up against 17 in Philly, and we'll be having this same conversation in a week from now.
We sure will. We'll absolutely talk about it. Again, that's the whole beauty of week 20, whatever it is, whoever can go is going to go as much as they can. And so, and I don't, and not everyone has all of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a long season. Like, these dudes are killing each other on a play-by-play basis. And here we are in the dead of winter. And so you'll get whatever you got from, you know, whatever anyone's got to give. And and I think, well, except for losing Sam Cosmi,
God damn it.
I know.
That was a gross roll up on. Worst case scenario. P.I. Shul has the same shit happen to him. Yep. He lies there for a second and bounces up. It's just all in the angle and the floor. It sucks. I love that guy. He's had a hell of a year. Man, thank you, Sam Cosmi. You are the fucking best. Let's get him back healthy for next year. That was devastating.
We'll do all-season stuff in the off-season.
I know.
Now, Sam Cosmi
but what Sam Cosmi did for us this season needs to be noted.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was
he's our
arguably the best player on our offensive line.
Yes. And he's been a contributor at a high level.
That's a huge shitty loss right there.
Huge shitty loss. It underlines, if anything, it underlines the need to invest.
I had totally forgotten about that till this very second. We were cruising on some good ass news, but you know what?
But the beauty, I
do think he is our best. And listen, I love Deonis. He's right there.
The honest to God truth is, they were opening holes for Brian Robinson after Cosmi came out.
Detroit's effing ass. They mashed them. Our O-line won the arm wrestling battle decidedly.
Who's going to start? Is it going to be... are they going to slide? Are they going to...
Trent jumped in.
Trent Scott's going to be the guy.
I heard he played well, so I don't see
And by the way, that's why you put a swing tackle inside in a phone booth, and you ask him to fight his way out.
The guy's a football player, man. Yep. We have some good guys.
I know everyone wants to say, like, oh, they're getting... De'Ami Brown's having such a great year, and Zach Ertz is 80 years old and he's doing this, and and Robbie Wagner, the ageless wonder, is doing that, and it's like they also performed that same magical process with our offensive line. Trent Scott, like the way that they've built the line out, you don't want to lose Sam Cosmi, but when you do. They've been the same kind of Svengali, front office folk with our office. We can do it.
They've done this since day one.
Yes.
Dan Quinn came in and said this. We are not going to bring guys in and put circle pegs into square holes. Square pegs because holes are circle mostly. But we're not going to do that shit. We're going to do what these guys do best. We're going to bring in guys that are talented at what they do. We're going to see what they do. We're going to see what they can't do. And we're going to put them in a position to succeed. And in years past and programs past and franchises differently than ours, they try and squeeze fit all these players they think will work. And when it doesn't, they don't understand why. How many of these goddamn guys did we pick up this offseason that fit into the system perfectly? Perfectly. How many times can Adam Peters hit in one season on these mid-level $3 million 1 to 3 year contracts? If he can do that consistently, I mean, Jesus Christ.
I know.
I just can't believe that he could have pulled this off the way he did. And looking around at the guys out there, everyone's been put in a position. Listen, they're not going to ask Frankie Louvu to play a shit ton of coverage. He's a quarterback rusher, but he can do it 1 out of 10 times. But you see when he's around the ball, he usually gets it or knocks the ever-living piss out of somebody.
But he's also a good
someone
spy.
Else gets it.
Not that we're going to need it against Jalen Hurts, but he is a great player in space, and he's a great pass rusher. He's a good tackler, and he's smart. He's so smart.
He's a brilliant football player. He undrafted rookie free agent that learned the game and is now playing alongside the most brilliant linebacker in the league, Bobby Wagner.
Oh, yeah, Mike Davis. We got to say, like, he did. Now, if you're going to take an L, if Adam Peters has to take any L's, because the board is like,
I get it. I didn't say he hit on everybody, guys. You know how many guys he's signed.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but that dude looks terrible.
His hit rate is outrageous.
That dude runs like a spastic. I don't get it. That's the one guy I don't get.
Yeah,
but he started 7 years on the left coast. I don't get that shit either. How did he do that?
Rhett, we are in fact starting a GoFundMe for De'Ami. I expect your full support. I you know what? I'm 99.999% focused on being in the NFC Championship game and 0.00001 focused on the offseason. But I think that's dedicated to I want De'Ami back. I want to start the campaign.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's fucking 20 guys we need back before De'Ami. Chill the fuck out.
I want De'Ami
You get
back.
on these weird things like last week and you were hitting
De'Ami back.
De'Ami. Like, get out out of here, dude. There's 100 dudes we can get to do a Diami Dutch for that price. Let's go. Let's let the best GM in the league get a receiver that can have Diami's exact year at that price. Defense. That would be fine.
I want Diami.
I get it, but like, bro, if it's going to be somebody else, we have made Diami look great. We're not going to pay him $8 gazillion.
It's going to be someone else. Where is it? Dang it. We got to get this offense. Oh, there it is. All right. And here's our defense.
Dude, how many of the passes could he have dropped? Because for my calculations,
look at Jeremy.
It was 0.
Crushing it, as he has all season, followed up by our guy, Frankie Louvu. 2 corners and top 5 tackles. That's pretty strong. Obviously, look at these interceptions. That's amazing. Jeremy Chin, by the way, has had a couple slip through his fingers. He probably was good for at least 2 more this season. Man, he's a guy.
If you want to talk about who to re-sign, let's talk Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin needs to be re-signed 1,000 times in a row.
All right,
before we think about Diami
starting this. We want Jeremy Chin re-signed bandwagon also.
Jeremy Chin obviously needs to be re-signed.
We love you too, Rhett. We love you too. All right. Hey, by the way, Greg, cue us up on our either or. Cue it up in the comment section. Let us know we're doing an either or championship game inspired.
We are going to swallow Jalen Hurts whole many, many times. Many, many times on Sunday afternoon.
Dante Fowler, who is generally good for
how do we
penalty,
not say that name yet?
Got whored by the referees, made an absolutely amazing
biggest
play.
D job of all time.
Why isn't that coming into the referee's ear from somebody who sees
and he's doing this to him. No. I didn't touch. You've called me for this all year long. I'm not going to overreact.
How can you call a catchback that no one saw except for the guys in New York? How is someone who sees this, how can they not correct that in the referee's ear?
We were penalized 4 times for 25 yards.
I know.
One of those,
and they were 5 for 30.
One of those was the 15 yards for the mystery face mask, the ghost mask.
I'm not saying we got hoarded by.
But that if they're gonna really protect people,
that was
they got to protect the defense also.
That was points.
You have got to go and check and see if that face mask is actually a face mask.
That
has to be reviewed. That has to be reviewed. I thought it was a face mask, and from the angle I saw, and I said it. And the people in the room were pissed at me because they were like, then they saw it and they were like, oh shit. Then they showed the other angle and it wasn't.
The thing is, like at this point in time, there's no other games on. There's no other games on. New York doesn't have to worry about five games going on at the same time, and they had to find out if this was. That was the only game on for the entire. Whoever the people are,
that was rotten.
Whoever the people are who whisper into the ref's ear and say, before they even go, the referee doesn't have to look at it. Say, with the benefit of blah blah blah, we've determined that it was not a face mask. As they're just like 2 referees, they're standing like this, they're talking to each other, but really some guy in the ear is like, the entire universe is watching a replay right now of it clearly not being a face mask. Do not call this penalty. And they're like, wait, no, there was no foul for face mask. It's 2025 for God's sake. We're all seeing it. We all saw that it wasn't a face mask before they announced the penalty.
But if one of those guys in the field says, I saw it clean, I saw it, and stands up for themselves because they're a stubborn prick, then I think that muddies the water.
But all them saying is we knew it wasn't a face mask before the referee opened the mic and told the stadium that it was a face mask.
I agree.
So Dante Fowler otherwise had a great game.
Fowler was a wrecking ball. He was a monster in there, man.
Another guy looking to make himself some dough, and he is the perfect mercenary in an NFC Championship game. Putting a guy like him healthy on the field with a blank check in front of him, and if he has a big game,
a non-healthy Jalen Hurts.
Now, the thing is, the Philadelphia offensive line is very good. We know this. They are. They come in with a lot of, everyone knows they're good. They're a good offensive line.
They're a damn good team. That's why we're playing for the conference championship. But that were we
one-on-one battles. Defensive line is potentially our strongest position room. We're throwing Payne. We're throwing Allen. We're throwing Newton. We're throwing Armstrong. We're throwing Fowler at you. That's at least top half of the league, if not top third. That's why everyone tunes in at 3:00 on Sunday. So
I've bartended 20 years of championship Sunday football specifically,
and Jalen ain't running anywhere.
Never. What?
Jalen's not escaping any of it.
Hurts ain't escaping. But Jaden Daniels.
No, I'm saying Jalen isn't
he's gonna be running everywhere. He is. He has to.
It's going to be a sympathetic figure. I think they're going to have to pull him out of mercy. Who's coming in? Is it Pickett?
100%. That's what they did last time, and he just got cleared, I believe.
He was cleared. I know. I was banged up because they had Tanner McKee who was also hurt.
Yeah, and he was pretty decent. Sirianni was getting questions about which guy he should, if he has to. So Sirianni's mum is the word. I don't give a shit. What's that petty little weirdo going to call in the first play? He did
Jahan Dotson.
He did the Jahan Dotson because of our trade. Then he did
A.J. Brown to
Lattimore after no one targeted him in 54 snaps.
All right.
What little booger eating shit is he going to do this week? He's like a 15-year-old jealous ex-boyfriend. What does he do? First play of the game.
I mean, it's a Saquon pass, maybe. It's going to be. Again,
whatever. I guess
They have a guy that they should give to every single play. His name is Saquon Barkley.
I agree. They're going to go back to Dotson. Is my call. Dotson on a 3-yard out, just to be a douche. Just to get the Northeast.
I love it.
All riled up.
That hurts them. Just like I loved that David Montgomery was healthy enough to play. I'm like, awesome.
Every time they handed it to him was a dream.
I'm like, continue to give it to David Montgomery. I mean, are you guys crazy?
Montgomery.
Yes.
They pinned him to one the first play. I was like, phew. We dodged the bullet on the first play.
Every single play that didn't go to Gibbs.
And I like Montgomery.
Like, woohoo.
But that dude, holy moly.
Philadelphia.
Hurts drop the middle would be nice, especially if he's running at about half speed. Just to show everyone that he's tough.
Just to
that
show
sounds
everyone
about
he's
right.
Tough. Just push on first down.
He's a spiteful weenie. Sirianni has got that. He's just he's so worried about what everyone thinks.
So Greg Martin is a conference championship weekend either-or creator. We have to pick one option and why. Okay, so here's one of them. For example, everyone help us out. Where are we at? Tell me, Brad. Change rule to no coaches with a current job can interview until after Super Bowl or leave it the same.
I'm going to go first and be a real prick about it. Seeing as that we've just suffered through 25 years and not having to worry about this shit,
yes.
I think we changed the rule based on all the coaches we have on our staff that I would like to keep for a very long time.
Can't interview until after the season.
Hey, there's no time like the present. So the time for change is now. Don't take our guys.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, their punishment for this rule change is they get to continue to coach on teams that make it deep into the playoffs. Sorry, you get to come back to a team that's made it to the NFC Championship Game.
And watch your resume skyrocket and your experience and your abilities. Yeah, I know.
It won't be your fault. You're a coordinator. Think about this. You're a coordinator. Nothing's your fault. You are hot and and everyone wants you.
Thanks, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Cliff Kingsbury right now.
Bills and Chiefs
from the waist up.
47.5 over under. I'm gonna say, gosh, you know what? All right, so do you want to go first? I'll go first.
Sure, because I think it's a simple answer for me.
What do you got?
It's all the way under. Kansas City's going to milk the shit out of that clock and score and barely kick field, and they're just going to torment. There's going to be a great football game, but it's not going to be one of these old days of just wheeling and dealing, I don't think. It's going to be a possession by possession, my opinion, and I think it's going to be the under handsomely.
I'm going to be contrarian, but the reason why I asked you to go first because I agree with you that the obvious answer is the under. Chiefs have kept every single team in the world, in the universe, within a few points of them all season long.
They've been micromanaging 10 yards at a time.
Yes, they've just been like hanging out. They just keep their opponent like right here, like within noogie length, and at the appropriate moment, they deliver the noogie. I mean, they had like 13 noogie wins this year. Just BS at the buzzer. Field goal here.
You want to say fumble Rooski right now so bad, don't you?
No. They're a noogie team.
You do.
But I think that Buffalo is coming in a way that the Chiefs aren't going to be able to handle.
Terrible sentence. Just give me some insight. Why?
I think
you can't just leave us all hanging.
I think the Bills are gonna score a bunch of points. I think they're going over 30 themselves. I think that's going to be. I think they're 34 to 40 point team this week. I think they just. I don't think they leave it to doubt. I don't think they ever stop. I think they keep the pedal pushed all the way down. I think Josh Allen exerts himself, and with multiple. But like James Cook, the thing about the Bills' offense is that Josh Allen is great, and you have to account for him. I mean, James Cook, he had over 15 rushing touchdowns this year. He can catch it out of the backfield. He's awesome.
Chris Jones.
That's one way to beat Chris Jones.
This time of year,
get to the outside.
Chris Jones beats everybody, and
he's so good.
And they are. And listen,
by the way, he lines up at every position as a big. He looks like just a big fat defensive tackle. That's the worst mistake you could ever make. Thinking that
it was
about
my
Chris
favorite.
Jones.
I think, were we live?
Yeah, we were live.
Yeah, it was fun.
We were live, and I mean, he's just literally one of the. But the thing is when he lines up, like that's what I know. I know no one of ours is Chris. Chris Jones is.
He was the bad boy for the Kansas City Royals, right?
Who? Chris Jones?
Yeah. He was running those 40s, and all those Louisville Sluggers fell out all over the place.
Yes,
remember?
Yes, he was.
The Keebler Elf ran out of the one.
Yes, but I'm saying
he was running the 40 at the combine, and his dong fell out.
Right on out.
And it took like 4 seconds from the time it fell out.
A whole team of people.
Until
it was like
landed.
Humpty Dumpty. They couldn't put it back together. They're still out there.
Branches. I think I saw an owl.
There's like 5 balls still on the loose.
Keebler Elf scrambling everywhere.
But we don't have any.
How are we live for that?
I don't know.
That was sick.
Because we're here for what the people need us for.
Big deal. Louisville Slugger had a big shout out.
Yes, they did. I'm just saying that I think Johnny Newton has Chris Jones, at least Chris Jones light potential. I think he's that kind of disruption, a defensive tackle kind of guy. Listen, Chris Jones doesn't deserve
more of a spice channel than a full hardcore Chris Jones.
I would say like what was I would say like
you don't have to watch the blockage.
No,
actually, it's like a full
Cinemax After Dark scenario. Fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he has that potential. Chris Jones deserves to not be compared to rookies. I'll say that too.
No, Chris Jones is an animal and is going to be a huge force in this game.
Payne and Allen are beasts. I hated to see Payne, working through that finger injury. Yeah. But again, I think that on the let's transition back to a little bit of Philadelphia Eagles talk. Our plan should once again. I mean, we've got to make him throw it fast. He's not going to escape the pocket. So
they love to throw it fast, though,
and that's okay. Yeah. But see, like if that's all you're defending, I mean, we could get burned by that easily. But if that's all that if Fowler and Newton and Payne and Allen and Armstrong are doing their job and winning one of those guys is winning a one-on-one most plays. I mean, Hurts has not shown in recent weeks that he's the master of, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not just he's not I don't know. He's not what's the best statuesque?
Well, here's why. Well, let me just say, he's not some great pocket passer, but you know when he's not great
Dan Marino. He's not Dan Marino.
No, exactly.
That's
what he's not great at is throwing on the run. When he makes moves, he's a great runner. And guys, you've seen it. And he makes a few plays because he has great escapability. So he does make a few plays. But if you watch him on the run, he is more than willing to throw the ball to the other team when he's making moves on the run, especially when he's going left. Especially, and you'll see a bunch of shitty throws. He is not a very fundamental thrower on the run. It's just not part of his game. He has the ability to lob it up and let guys make plays when he's out there in space, sure. But I'm talking about a team like us that's going to heat them up this week. We might sit back and play covers and mix it up, but we are coming. They didn't sack his ass 7 times last week for nothing.
They're going to juice him up. He's going to be feeling no pain out of the gate. He's like a senior point guard. He knows where the ball needs to go. He has the athletic ability to put it there, but he's wounded. He's a wounded senior point guard. This game does not treat those kinds of folks kindly. He is if he can't move, if he's not mobile enough to be athletic, which at his core he is. If he's not mobile enough to be athletic, advantage us times 5.
I agree. What his strengths are, obviously the guy squats 5 billion pounds and benches 5 billion. His stiff arm is amazing. But if you're not fully grounded, if you don't have both your feet on the ground with full ability, that stiff arm becomes a little bit different. And you saw on that sack, when the Rams sacked him in the end zone, not only did he have no ability to escape, sideways, east or west, no chance.
Yep.
The stiff arm is useless because you usually push off into a plant and escape. He doesn't have that ability. He was he had no chance.
No
man.
Chance.
And that's the quarterbacks that we have had the most success against.
Yes.
By fudging far. And it's not hard to everyone can say that.
When the next logical thing is that means we have got to dedicate all available resources not nailed down to keeping Saquon from beating us.
No doubt.
Then we get back to, and I know you love this, the bare front look, but because we know that Jalen's going to have to throw that ball super quick, fast, and in a hurry, you've seen
with
Daron Payne
Devontae
drop.
and AJ, there's not going to be a lot of bare front.
Well, but you've seen Payne and Allen and Newton drop into that inside passing lane.
I know, I get it, but that's in his own coverage, and that's just a look. It's not an actual defense, and I know you love it. You fucking love it.
I love it so much. Bills +2, Chiefs -2.
I am going with the Chiefs, man.
I'm going with Bills.
And I think it's on a field goal so they can win by 3.
I think
it's one of those games, man. So.
I mean, it should be, and it likely is. There's some part of me that says Bills are going to run away with it. That's where my moolah is. I think Bills are going to run away with this game. There's something about this matchup, and there's something about what's happening right now on the ground that favors the Buffalo Bills style of play. They're not that great. They're not the best defense. Like Von Miller, it's crazy to me. Like when he signed that deal,
he got run down in 10 seconds. I was like, he's very explosive, but he's not winning any 40 runs.
No, but they have guys like they have dudes like Philadelphia has like Braun. Like I feel like everyone should know about him, and no one does. But he's like an All-Pro linebacker. He's awesome. He's a great player. The Bills have guys like that. I mean, they have strong, but they are going to give up points. The problem is that's the kind of defense that Mahomes can work for first downs and time of possession. And he's a master at it.
The problem is the Bills have never freaking done it.
No, I know.
And the Chiefs have always done it.
Sure.
And everyone knows it. And the Bills better bring something different. And it better be on defense. They better not give up a bunch of points because that's going to be a huge problem.
Yeah. So what's number 4, Greg? Only Jaden can beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
He asked it. Oh, he took it down. We were taking too long.
I didn't see 4. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. There it is.
You got it?
Winner of the game, Bills or Chiefs, and score prediction. All right, I'm saying Bills. We both. I'll say Bills. I'll say Bills. And like I said, I'm going to stick to my guns. I don't think this is close. I don't think they let it be close. I got the Bills 34-24.
Bills. Chiefs. 27.
26. I mean, if they're gonna win, they're gonna win by like that.
No. I said. I'm switching it. 23-17.
Okay.
23-17.
So
I said it was gonna be a field goal. I was wrong. The field goal is gonna be kicked to go up, and then the Bills are gonna have the ball marching downfield, and they're not gonna have enough time. Something's gonna happen.
Number 5. You're going to game at Eagles. In the cheap seats, do you go in full Washington gear or kind of keep it low key?
There ain't no low key in the conference championship. I don't care about these people. They don't care about me. I don't care about them. So
it's the colors.
Yeah, no one's stopping me from rooting for my ball squad. Don't care. Could care less.
That's unanimous.
And I hope to be singing "Hail to the Redskins" walking outside.
I've never been I've never been on a road game in Philly, and I would love to. I've never been.
I've been in the vet. It was to watch a friend playing a preseason game. They played the Jets 100 years ago. It was a disgusting pit of disgustingness, and now
legendarily.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
but what Philly ain't that like? Come on, Philly love that. They love that whole like rep. Take it easy, nerds.
But that question leads me to talk about like I have already been offered tickets, or a ticket to this week's game, and I thought to myself, of course I would go. Of course I would wear maroon, burgundy and gold from head to toe. Might have to wear some McNamara maroon, but I would be there, and but at the end of the day, I feel like the better experience is to have to enjoy it here, in the area with the people. And by the way, this is the perfect, because I wrote this down because I wanted to talk about it. The notion of same seats. There's a lot of we got to run back these parties. This weekend we got to run them back. Mm-hmm. We have got to get people back. Like this is, we're not taking the week off of this. We're not just happy to have had an awesome NFC divisional round playoff win with our friends and family. We got to step it up. We got to step it up. We got to keep it going. And I think that experience is 1,000 times more important, more meaningful, and more joyful, and more amazing than driving up I-95 and
hell
yes.
That stadium.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I think we go all on the same page there.
No, of course. And listen, this Sunday is going to be, tying into question 6, same seat mandated here is in effect. I get it. Staying home and watching with diehards. Listen, my wife is a cursor, thrower of stuff at the television. She does not want to be in public. She doesn't want someone else's wife talking to her about anything. She doesn't want to do it. And she said to me last weekend, I do not want to leave the house. I want to watch it right here.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone here, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I said, all right, the Morans stopped by. She was like, all right, that'll be fine. Well,
that'll be fine.
Well, Erin sits there like this the whole time. She had the hoodie over her face with the whole thing tied up, like South Park style. Yep. So I love how everyone watches that. I do. No. When you're a diehard, if your focus is the game, do whatever the hell you want, and I can be with you. You know what I'm saying? Unless your focus is on the negative side. I hate when people are like, we're gonna lose. I don't want to do that again. Like, no, don't root negatively. Be like Jaden Daniels.
I'm not
Watch
superstitious.
The game like Jaden is what I'm trying to do, which is very impossible.
The best part, though, Kev, I can say, and I know some folks on here, the same seats rule.
Oh yeah.
Benefited me because I had because I don't sit down for the entire game. I'm walking around. I
thought you busted out the pommel horse. My bad.
The pommel horse wasn't the rings. I'm more of a rings guy when it comes to during the game.
When it comes to sitting on the pommel horse, you like to have some extra support.
I'm up.
It's not just all the lower body making you comfortable. You're balanced out with both. I like that.
I'm not just letting the crotch handle the entire situation.
Yeah, I can't be in public for the playoffs either.
The pommel horse thing threw me so far off.
I thought it was the rings that would throw you.
And the same seats thing. I was sitting in a really comfortable chair, and then I gave it up to someone's wife in the third quarter, and I was like, hey, whatever. I was like sitting in the kitchen. I was talking to Elphick and Farkas and Mitchell. Then all of a sudden, I get this call. Things didn't go so well on the first drive of the third quarter.
Get your ass down here on the pommel horse, Meringolo.
That pommel horse isn't going to pommel itself. is tattooed on my brain.
Pommel horse isn't going to crush nuts all over the top of it.
Taped up the hands, chalked it up, and got back on that pommel horse is what happened. And next thing you know, obviously we cruised to victory.
9.94, Ken. 9.94.
Listen, I can't take all.
You would have gotten a 10, except for you're upstairs with Elphick and who else?
Farkas.
Yeah, you've been
Mitchell.
You've been punished by 0.06 points due to great company.
Terry McGann and his mixed 6-pack of beer.
I love when he shows up like that.
It's the best. It's the best 6-pack ever. You're like, oh, I don't even know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. It's going to be pretty good. All right, so where are we at, Greg? Where are you at?
We were pommel horsing around last
time. Everyone remembers. Pommel horsing. All right, 7. You're watching the game Sunday at a bar. Drink a ton or a drink or two per quarter to keep sharp focus on the game. So is this a question about like how much do I drink when I watch the
pace.
Game? Yeah.
For me, I drink at the same pace. Once I start till I stop, there's one pace.
I mean, it can be trained for this.
I know, but it can be. it can be sped up by a game of this caliber.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
of course, but
you
so
have
is
a rhythm.
the adrenaline. I don't think it matters. The adrenaline takes over.
It does.
I paced honestly like probably 15,000 steps the other night. Honestly, I just couldn't stop, and I couldn't and I was wondering why I wasn't feeling anything. I was feeling euphoric and happy, and family was around. And you know what? One thing I will mention before we get off here: a whole generation of people, not just kids, a whole generation of young people,
high schoolers, college kids,
just had half of the bullshit erased-ish. The burgundy and gold in the area, the people talking about the boys, it's like going back to the 80s, how everyone is people from different backgrounds, age groups, and areas have been brought together by these burgundy and gold guys that used to bring us all together back in the day, that brought us all together right here tonight because we give a damn for the last quarter century, and now we get to reap the benefits. It's very neat, and I'm not one of those guys that thinks those kids deserve to have to reap benefits. No, they deserve what we had as kids. We were spoiled rotten. They should be spoiled rotten. And this playoff season, they've been getting spoiled rotten. It's been super cool to watch the youth of this area and this community. Whatever the hell happened at Christmas, I got to tell you, Redskins franchise, the Commanders franchise had to make a fortune because I've never seen more kids in burgundy and gold. My wife My wife runs these clinics of 100 kids. She does 100 kids on Fridays in football, basketball, and baseball. And it was every team you can possibly imagine. Forever it's been. To walk out there the last couple of weeks and see that it is 95% burgundy or gold, and McLaurin and Jaden 17-5 is everywhere.
Yep.
That makes a guy feel pretty damn good about his ball squad, doesn't it?
Kev, you'll appreciate this. It was 2000 and I don't know, 5 or 6. Yeah, 2003 or 4. It was what was that? Right after Norv. When was Spurrier?
Right around there, 4.
Yeah, right.
I think that was 4
it was
or
like
5.
in the heart of the early Snyder terribleness, before we knew it was going to be like long-term onset Snyder terribleness. And I was trying out for a semi-pro bar league, essentially soccer team. And it was like the Redskins were playing. Like Sean Taylor was playing in the playoffs like at that moment in time. So I had a Champ Bailey jersey. I had Redskins shorts, gym shorts, my McNamara soccer socks, which are gold, and my McNamara hat, which was a hat. It was wintertime, and with a.
If you stop right there, that'd be fine.
I was all the colors, our colors, all day long.
Which I love.
And everyone there was like all wearing like Messi and Ronaldo and all like the soccer stuff.
One nip out shit.
They did not appreciate the fact that you've got to show out. You got to wear. You have to the way that we were sold, the way that we sold out, in terms of just being all in forever. I wanted to talk about this, and you gave me a good entree into it. The unique nature of the Washington Commanders rebuild or recalibration, if you want to talk about it in Dan Quinn.
How about explosion of happiness and fun?
This is the most. This is like fan bases have had down cycles and up cycles and down cycles and up cycles, and the manner in which those occur happen across a variety of factors. You catch a good quarterback. You catch a competitive. You have a good front office.
Yeah, owner, GM, coach. But over the long term, in the Super Bowl, 60 years, a lot of fan bases have done all of it. If you think about the manner in which our change occurred, so nobody the NFL it's 32 dudes. It's 32 rich guys. They don't want to they're not looking to cycle each other out. They're not looking to get in and get out. Getting a new owner, you can't if you're looking for a turnaround, we were told for the last 20 years, don't count on that. We got a new owner. Follow the Detroit model. We will, right down to Motor City before we beat that ass. Not a great quarterback, not a good one. Get a great one and all the rest. Not
everyone's getting a new owner.
No.
Almost ever. And so then you talk about, okay, so that happened for us. We got rid of one of the worst owners in professional sports of all time. And not even, we'll put Josh Harris on the side, putting together a front office that does two things, two of the most important things ever. They hire a head coach named Dan Quinn, and they draft Jaden Daniels. Now, those two front office decisions, you don't get that chance as a rebuilder. If you're looking at, if your team is downtrodden, you don't have the opportunity at all times to hire a Dan Quinn and draft a Jaden Daniels. Both crazy hits, both home run shots, and both like they set the tone for 5 to 10 plus years in this organization. The way we just did it, the way we just lived through it, is unprecedented. And it's unprecedented in the modern era of National Football League.
I know.
And we've been here. We've argued about Bruce Allen's, BS with Kirk Cousins. We've had the show. We had Alex Smith. We talked about, all of the terribleness and the what happened to this organization and the upswing that we just got. It is unparalleled in the history of the National Football League. I mean, it just is.
It truly is, and I'm not going to be able to fully speak on it until it's over, and we can take a look back on it and be like, what an effing ride, because right now I'm just chilling, just riding it out. I'm not ready to swim back out and catch a new wave. This one is just fine by me. I enjoy the pace of it all, the direction it's heading, and everything we've done to solidify the foundation moving forward for it to have the maximum amount of
this
fun.
This is not like something you can copy and paste across other places. Like, this is an unprecedented conglomeration of things that happen individually, right, and they happen all at once for us.
But let's just let the fan base know this, that we, the elders, understand how to behave in this scenario. Yeah. We know what this means and how you're supposed to handle yourself year in, year out. We might not be 12-5 next year, guys. We might be 10-7, scrapping to get in on the second place schedule, dealing with a couple injuries. But it doesn't matter, because if we get healthy and get into the big show, then you got a chance. Because if you got 5, you got a chance. And we got 5, and we are going to have 5, and we're going to have seasons of success moving forward. And I don't care about the future. I care about Sunday at 3. And I think we beat that ass, to be fair.
I think we beat that ass, too.
I think we handle that ass, is what I'm saying. An ass beating in the playoffs is a double-digit event. And I do believe that there will be an ass beating occurring in Philadelphia on Sunday. I do believe that. The same way I felt like we were going to maul Detroit's defense, I feel like this team goes up there
and beats that ass.
Everything about this team and the fan base is good. We have dealt with bullshit. It's good. We've handled like champs. We've done the best we could. They boo Santa and boo like the third series of the game if they're losing. That's not real. That's not real. No. And I hope that we get after them early and turn those shitty-ass Kelly Green wearing fans upon themselves and let Philadelphia eat Philadelphia.
Which they are more than happy to do.
Have you seen those bastards? They'll eat anything.
I think we got this. I think, but the thing about it, like you talked about it, the coolest part about what our guys put together is not just a team that can. No one wants to. Regular season championships aren't championships. There's no such thing. Put together a team that can win one game. The anyone, anywhere, anytime mantra of our team is the greatest thing ever. Like I
adore it.
I want it on everything I wear. I want it on my walls. And if you're running a football organization, there's no other mantra you should ever have. And that's the whole purpose. Like the regular season, like who fucking cares if you're undefeated, if you have 2 or 3 losses? All that matters is that you make the playoffs. Let's get back to that, because that's where we were in the 80s and early 90s. All we cared about was making the playoffs. And once you're in the playoffs, we'll take our guys, and whoever can go is gonna give it all they got. And I don't take my chances. That's all you want in football, and that's all we never had for 20 years.
We got a guy, some guys still looking for that second playoff win. Our guy's played in 2, he's 2-0. I love that he's over that hump. No one has to. No nerdy sports writer's going to sit there in a dark corner and just start typing about Jaden Daniels. Can he win the big one after he loses his first playoff game? That ain't happening, because he did not. And not only did he not, he performed admirably well. In fact, like a damn veteran, Pro Bowl perennial cat, and he's ours. We deserve him. He's ours. Let's treat him proper, guys.
Yeah,
let's treat him proper.
He's good enough to win this game. He's good enough to win the game on Sunday at 3 p.m. He's good enough to win the game for us. That's how good he is. Just period.
You can only choose one, Greg Martin. Only choose one, Ken.
You can only choose one to enjoy during the game
Food or drink?
Sunday.
One. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna get this. I'm gonna go ahead and go first. I've had moments of clarity.
We gotta have a drink. Yeah, it's gotta be a drink.
It's gonna be a
right?
drink.
It has to be a drink.
Yeah, I don't need to eat anything on Sunday until after the game.
I don't want to eat a thing.
It will be.
I eat a lot,
if I can only have one, it's going to be. I know it should be a whiskey based on hour, but this is a lifetime achievement. And if I have one drink,
you're drinking all day.
Here's what it's gonna be. It is gonna be a dirty kettle rocks with 3 blue cheese stuffed olives, and I'm gonna giggle as I watch number 5 as I rock it in my hands repeatedly. 3 blue cheese stuffed olives, kettle one. Let's make it just a strong ass pour on the rock.
See, but I wouldn't have multiple ones of those.
A little dirty. I just want a little dirty.
All right,
with my blue cheese stuffed olives.
I can't wait for you to serve me one of those. I got a handle of kettle ready to go.
I make a gajillion of them, and they're delicious. Honestly, that'll get you started. That'll have you yelling at the refs, the guy that's in the booth that's telling the refs what to do.
I mean, I always start with whiskey, but I don't carry the whiskey all the way through the game because I'm not anyone's 78-year-old uncle yet. I will be someday. Well,
no one wants to see you at your own house lying in a puddle.
No. So I switched. So I was a Surfside vodka can drink during the game. I know
you're not inspiring me.
No. Well, but I mean, I was already. I hit the game hard.
Unless you're just trying to ride the wave. Like we were talking about.
I hit the game. I hit the kickoff ready to go, and then I'm not trying to do this during the game. I'm trying to hit the game on and just maintain it out.
All right. Greg Martin, us and Eagles, 48 points, over or under. I'm going to say the over. I'm also going to say that we're going to win 33-17.
Bring on number 10. We're going over.
I think we win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Is that crazy to go to the Super Bowl? I think we win to go to the Super Bowl.
Let's just.
What a fun thing to get to say out loud.
It's just crazy to say. Like, I think my team's going to win this weekend. Oh, and by the way, if we win, we're in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And I'm not lying, and it's not because I'm blind. I think we're playing better than the Eagles right now. I do. 2 months ago, I don't want to see them. I didn't. That was true then. What's true now is what I just saw. And they are not the team that they were a month ago, and neither the shit are we. And that's for 2 different reasons, my brother.
The coolest thing, Kev, I'm out by the grill, pulling in and off the egg, nice little pile of grilled wings.
Deliciousness.
5 minutes before kickoff, just right on time. Put them down in front of a mob of people, and they say, hey, and someone says, "Hey, Ken, what and I've been doing my thing by the grill.
Gotta have a distraction.
Having my whiskey.
Got to.
Making the wings. I'm not getting carried about all the lead up and the pregame hoopla on the television. And a couple people would walk out and hang out, and then they'd come back. But I was doing my thing. I walk in, put the plate down. I know it's like 4 or 5 minutes to kick off. Someone says, "Oh, hey Ken, what do you think about the game?" Because they know I'm gonna. And I said, all I said was, "We're the better team. We were the better team. If you were objectively looked at what was happening at the moment when we entered that field, except including Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams and all that stuff." We were the better team. Our offense was so much better than their defense.
That I know.
And it was more than the difference between their offense and our defense. And I am going to tell you right now that go in this 21st week of the season in the NFL, the Washington team is the better team right now.
I believe it.
In the NFC Championship game.
I'm brutally honest. Yes, I'm optimistic about the fact that we're
the better team.
I think based on all the information, I do believe this week that we deserve to win, that we are the better team, and you never know.
Yeah, us +6. There you get your answer there. Winner of game, us or Eagles. There you get your answer there.
You got my +6. Yes, yes. And I like the over. Yes, yes.
We're getting all that stuff. I mean, if you want to me, I told you what did I tell you the final score was going to be? 34-24, something like that.
Something along those. Yeah.
I just think we're the better team. I really do. I think the ball could bounce the other way very easily. They're not so bad that couldn't happen. I mean, they're good for a reason. They have really good players. Their offensive line is great. They're missing guys in the middle of their defense. They're potentially missing a guy on the outside. And our guy is good enough to make you pay for that. Like, Jaden Daniels is good enough to make you pay for that. He is the guy.
No, Nakobe Dean. It's happening so slow for number 5 right now. It's all unfolding.
You know how he trains his brain in 1.75
listen,
speed.
Darius Slay's a badass. I get it, but he can't be all over the field, and he ain't that great. I'm not afraid to go after him.
If no one is, but at the same time, he's going to get balls coming his way. But what Jaden has to be careful of is where is number 8.
I get it.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and of course Jalen Carter's a game wrecker. I mean, they just have great players. That's why it's us and them for all the marbles. But the coolest thing about it is we get to a 1-game situation. Now, we've been doing Tuesday nights for the year 2 AD since September. And we've been giving you our prediction for the next game, and we've given it to you honest here and there. I mean, we've predicted losses. I mean, this sheet right here it proves it. But we're predicting our team wins, and let's just reiterate: we're predicting our team wins in a game where the winner goes to the Super Bowl. If and when the Washington Commanders advance to the Super Bowl, it will be one of the most amazing moments in sports. People.
Oh, we'll hear about it.
It will be.
We've been saying it for months together as a family. All of us together. All of us.
So many people are going to want to glom on, and that's fine. Glom all the way. Glom on. Make it a thing. This is something that's been a long time in the making, and it was sped up by Jaden Daniels. I did want to recollect, Kev, if that's okay with you, that in a similar moment of euphoria in predicting the outcome of the game that we had the following week.
I'm splashing one.
Yeah, splash.
I'm splashing one.
I suggested that upon completion of the Washington-Detroit game, in which Washington will be victorious, that nobody was going. They weren't going to be saying, "Wait a second."
No, I'm way more worried about your beyond completion scenario.
Washington can't lose to Detroit in the playoffs. We were 3-0, now we're 4-0. It was the most amazing, confident feeling that we ever had. Serge, who's on the board tonight, he was watching the show.
Attaboy, Serge.
He was hanging out with, and he said, "Hey, remember when you said like, where it's impossible for us to lose to Detroit in the playoffs?" He was like,
we documented it.
Yeah,
99-30. He put last week.
He put like his retirement savings on the line. Huge win for Serge. Good job, buddy.
If you'd like to donate to Ken and I's retirement fund,
that's what we're here for. You sponsor the next.
We got
Serge
$5
segment.
in it. Listen.
So the fact that we beat Detroit also just lends itself to a narrative that we started last week, which was we felt confident. Obviously, we can beat.
And why do we feel confident? We've had one playoff game ever against the Eagles. What was the outcome? Yeah, we won 26.
20.
Those buttholes kicked 2 field goals. They couldn't even score a touchdown.
Worst person, the person who puts Christmas decorations up November 1st, or the person who keeps them up.
My clarity's going first
till February 1st.
I hate the November 1st person because Thanksgiving's right there, man.
Yeah.
I just need me some Thanksgiving, and I don't mind if it's delayed because I like when it's up. And February and January can be very dark. We need a little brightness. That's just how I feel. That's just one guy. That's just one guy. But Thanksgiving needs to be Thanksgiving because it's my numero uno. Christmas is a 2 seed.
I'm doing a big time like debating situation. Like if I put up, I'm thinking about putting up permanent lights, holiday lights, but like not like blinkers, like multicolored blinkers.
So you just want everyone in the neighborhood to think you and your family are dicks.
Not in Clark W. Griswold's scenario. I'm just saying put it up so they don't have to take it up, put it up and take it down.
I take it back. Dick-ish.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fine.
That's
Fair.
important.
Fair.
I want to know if lighting the bushes is a positive scenario for our neighborhood.
What if you have no bushes?
Just saying. I'm trying to think of...
I'm trying to give as honest an answer as I possibly can.
The bushed and the anti-bushed. J-Dubs, he said it and he got it right. Bingo. I'm assuming whatever I was saying.
Well, he says Thanksgiving. No, he said Thanksgiving is always getting screwed.
Nope. He was agreeing with something I said in that exact moment.
He certainly wasn't agreeing with the bush lightings.
I think that's all we got.
That's all we got.
I think that's all we got for
Hold
tonight.
on, but
in terms of
Greg might have one more. I knew he had one more.
All right, here we go. If we win to go to the Super Bowl, tears of joy or smile and laughs of joy?
Oh, it's all of it. Boogers of joy.
Yeah.
I might shit myself. You just never know. There's no.
It also
how am I
depends on
supposed
that
to control
previous
my
question.
faculties? How is anyone supposed to control their faculties in this question?
I'm going to be around people who are...
I hope I don't shit myself.
I hope I don't shit. I do. You know what? I have aspirations also. We all have non-shitting ourselves aspirations.
I know. But it'll be an exciting one.
Probably goes without saying. I would say that it kind of depends on that previous question about the drinks being served.
Joyful sharts is what you're thinking.
If I'm eating blue cheese olives for 3 quarters and kettle 3 times, I'm probably crying and shitting and sharting.
Me too.
I don't know what that is. It sounds beautiful.
Joyful excrements.
It sounds like heaven.
Secretions, exactly.
It's all about.
We haven't. We've
all of the secretions, every single one. Robert Cohen, you have a way with words, sir. I think if anything, we determined that Kevin mostly wants to re-sign De'Ami Brown this offseason.
I do.
I
just don't understand why we're talking about this 17th guy we want to re-sign before the offseason even starts. It's about to be a De'Ami Brown expose in this mother. Sheesh.
Sorry, I was getting a text mid-show. It was De'Ami Brown's agent.
Oh, the Muffer Bowl. We gotta have that bowl.
All right,
we should definitely broadcast it.
We are one way or another going to be together next Tuesday evening. It's going to be following the NFC Championship game in the NFL, the National Football League. You may have heard of it. And our team is playing in that game. By the way, that's
believe it. I can't believe it
outrageous.
It really is. Honestly, it's ridiculous. We're not looking past it. We're not saying like we knew this would happen. No one fucking knew it was going to happen. No, this is so joyful. This is so amazing. This is the Phoenix rising from the ashes, and the Phoenix wears number 5.
That's the thing is you put in all of sports, in any sport, a player. There is a player who can ascend. Anything in a 1-game scenario. We've seen it in basketball with guys like Michael Jordan. We've seen it in hockey. We've seen it in baseball. Even we've seen the one guy who's just better than everybody else, and he will. Jaden Daniels is to date for us looking like that kind of guy. If we're gonna hike the ball to him, I know you like to hike the ball.
Hike down, set, hike
on a down by down basis. If you put the ball in Jaden Daniels' hands, like he is shown himself to be the guy who can win in a 1-game scenario, win or go home, survive
in advance. And I will say this: you want to talk about one player ascending at the beginning of the year before we started this off. We had some noises coming from training camp about this guy. We saw him, and we determined in September that we had a savior. Was there another player who ascended at 3:00 on a Sunday afternoon to rise against the horrible evils of this world, Philadelphia, and be the savior? saying there were some religious undertones this evening.
I feel like,
know this.
We should.
3 o'clock start, noon to 3. Know that I've been paying attention to all the classes my religion teacher didn't think I was. But we've had a player ascend at 3 o'clock. We have, and he will remain nameless.
I like the early game too, Ken Harris. I think
on Sunday I do. On Sunday I do.
Yes. There's only 2 games. There's 2 games.
I don't want to watch someone else's 2 fan bases go through what we're about to go through before we do on playoff Sunday.
Yeah.
I want to do it at 3, and then you can commiserate. Or, by the way, we celebrate our season on Sunday evening.
Yeah, when we come back next Tuesday
night. One way or another.
We'll be celebrating next Tuesday night. And next Tuesday night is such a celebration.
Early game.
Only 4 fan bases get to celebrate the way we will celebrate next Tuesday night. Obviously, 2 of them get to celebrate a different way, but only 4 out of 32 team fans are where we are right now. We don't take that for granted. We love it. We appreciate you guys hanging in with us on a weekly basis, all year round, covering the greatest show on television, which it really kind of has been, and it's always given us everything we kind of wanted when that's all we had. Like, again, you can't change owners, so what do you want? I mean, we got entertainment out of it. It was terrible. What's happening now, again, just to summarize, the Washington Commanders are the darlings of the National Football League in a way that I'm perfectly happy to share with the world. And they're bringing a guy to the NFC Championship game who's capable of winning any game he starts. Any game he starts. That's already more than we could have asked for in August.
And echoing Robert Cohen saying a historic season, and it is because of how we accomplished it, guys. This is sustainable at every level. In fact, this is the foundation that this franchise will be built upon for the next 25 years. And God bless our kids that don't have to go through, and our kids' what we had to do to get them right. But always pay attention to your elders, because we know how to do it around this time of year.
My kids got to hear about 20 grown-ass adults belt out "Hail to the Redskins" at the top of their lungs in a way that they've never heard ever in their entire lives.
You too can do this when you get older. It's allowed.
And they will, officially now.
You have to. It's in your blood. It's in your burgundy and gold DNA.
T, we miss you. We love you. We'll see you next week. All the guys on the board, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Have a fun-ass Sunday. Let's all do that.
Just soak up every ounce of that joy. It is going to be a joy-filled weekend. Our team is one of the Final Four teams.
Heading to the Final Four after knocking off the 1 seed. Let's go.
Don't pucker up so much that you can't enjoy like the greatness of what this is.
Let it out.
Yeah, let
it rock.
This is special, and even if we were
spread your little cheeks and fly.
Yeah, even in 5 years when we'll have been a contender for 5 years, we need to always remember how good it is to make it this far. Only 4 teams do. Only 4 teams do, and we're one of them. We're the Washington Commanders. By the way, I'm starting to buy into people saying like they're going to stick with the name if they keep. If we win the Super Bowl as the Commanders, I'd say I don't know if they're going to change it or not. But
they won't go with the Washington Jaden Danielses or DQs. Go with the Washington.
And I officially don't care, as I've never cared in terms of all I really care about is call us winners, call us champions. We have the chance to make people call us that this week. That's crazy. Hats off to so many people who were involved. But more importantly, hats off to everybody who earned. People are finding Redskins fans are finding themselves in the position of rooting for their team in the NFC Championship. Like, it is so surreal. It is like a Picasso painting. Looking from the inside out, it is outrageous.
It's not setting in all the way. No. It's going to take an off season to embrace, because I don't think we're done yet. I just got a feeling that this story isn't finished.
And the cool thing about it, the underpinnings of it are positive. The underpinnings of it are, like, again, joyful. Everyone understands that the game is a business, and guys are going to, De'Ami Brown's going to play somewhere else next year. Guys are going to move somewhere else, and new guys are going to come in. But what's at the core of what we have right now can't change, can't be fucked with by free agency, for example, or the draft, because it is set and established in a manner that is, like you said, sustainable.
Building blocks.
Yes.
We just started. The foundation
the
has been
NFC
laid.
Championship. Oh, I'm going to put that up on the screen. I know. Is that what caused you to laugh there? The NFC Championship?
Listen, the All-Muff team to be announced soon.
Oh.
The NFC Championship, the Bowl of Muff.
All right, so Robert
the
Cohen.
Muffer Bowl. Listen, we are Muff-centric. We're a very Muff-centric group of people.
When the season ends, Robert Cohen, you are tasked with, I'm giving you a job. You're hanging out with us this late at night on a Tuesday. Your job is this. After the season's over, which obviously is after the Super Bowl, we're going to have an all-muff team show.
With the draft one, right?
We should draft an all-muff team. We're drafting an all-muff team.
So I'm telling you, Robert and Greg are involved.
Robert and Greg are involved.
You and I and T are involved.
And T are involved. All right. So we're having the all-muff team.
And
all-muff team will be drafted.
J Dubs with Bowl of Muff 2025. What a terrible sounding cereal.
Yeah, that's...
Hopefully there's no milk.
It's not champions. No champions. I
don't know why I make these jokes.
I think
it's because they make me laugh.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us for an hour and a half. But I think all of us, we deserve it. Let's just do it. Yeah. We don't know how to do this. There's no manual for this. There was 25 years ago. This is like Silo, Ken.
We're looking back.
This is like Silo. We're reading the Pact. I don't know if you guys have watched Silo, but we're going through the Pact right now and trying to determine what Joe Gibbs wrote in code with Joe Bukes.
Everything. People who are
Bethard coded it up. By the way,
they're all like
Casserly was the IT shadow.
It is not digital. It was not digitized.
Exactly.
The playbook for us, I was thinking to myself, okay, we're going old school. Like, I'm trying to remember my dad. My dad's like, I don't even know. No one even, I went to the store and I bought a bunch of bratwurst and mustard, and I didn't even know why. And I was like, Tom Meringolo, that's why. Tom Meringolo, if you're going to host people on a football Sunday, you grill sausages and you make sure they have, and a big foil tin of peppers and onions on the grill for hours and hours and hours on end.
What tastes better than that?
That's all we did. That's how I was brought up, and I was doing that for my family on this past weekend. Yeah. We're gonna do it again this week. Same seats.
Same seats. I said, Robert Cohen, our defense was gonna swallow him whole like Jonah the whale.
Hang out with us in 7 days. See what happens. See what happens, Philadelphia. See what happens when you mess with Jaden Daniels in the NFC Championship game. See what happens. That's when
we ruin your ability. You know how they think as we go off here? They think they're going to win because they're like, oh, yeah, the Commanders think they're coming up here going to do this. Nope, not going to happen. Get out. We're going to do it. We're going to swallow.
I know, and they made a mockery.
Swallow them whole, Robert Cohen.
They made a mockery of some Detroit podcasters who were saying much more inflammatory things about our team before the game.
Exactly. What a
much
dick.
More.
Well, that guy was such a
dick. That guy was so terrible. I'm like, hey, you can love your team and not say those things.
I know. You're just such a dick. Like, the Detroit fans hate you.
Yes.
Shut up, nerd.
Yes.
Listen, I like Detroit and respect them. That's where we're at.
I love Detroit.
Yeah. That guy.
I would if anyone besides my team had beaten him this week, I'd be crying with Dan Campbell. But I'm not. We are still live, Robert Cohen. Let's get some. Let's get a little. What do we got? Let's get. That's not EO.
How did we get here? Final four.
EO,
how did we get here, EO?
Are you still on the board, EO? Can you give us a little Barbaran on this one?
Just no. How did we get here? Please. It's playoff. You can't. You got to. We've been doing this. Sheesh, Ken.
We gotta be careful. We love you guys. We'll see you in 7 days.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Have a blast on Sunday with whoever you watch it with.
What a great year. What a great year it has been and will continue to be. We don't take any weeks off. See you on Tuesday night.
Thank you, guys. That was amazing. It's 10:52.
So early. It's just dark. It gets darker early this time of year.
Darker and 14 degrees. Dude, how are you supposed to talk about muffs when yours freezes off 5 days before the biggest playoff game of your career?
Listen, Martha got us this far. She's gonna get us one more week in.
Are you suggesting her muff froze off years ago? Again.
Maintenance. Muff maintenance. It's all about muff maintenance.
Bet she's